So we've hopefully got people thinking about what they eat, what they consume, how that impacts them spiritually. I want to just give some real practical things for people to think about because, I'll use myself as an example here. So I started out first this week. I'm in a situation right now where I would really enjoy losing about 10 pounds. I think I would feel better and a host of other things. And so I started out this week doing great. By the end of the week, I'm not doing so great, right? And so I kind of lost my mojo and got thrown off because I had, an outing over here and a party over there and, different things just threw me off. So practically, how do we help people take this seriously and stay on track once they say, hey, this sounds like something I really need to give some thought to? How do they stay on track? Or how do they even start?
I think they have to start by asking God what He wants them to change. Because if it's coming from ourselves, it's going to be very superficial. There's always a deep root, right, to what He wants to change and cultivate in us. And so I would just go straight to Him and say, God, what is it that you want me to, where in my physical body do you want me to be a better steward? Is it by starting to move more? Is it by not having as much sugar or not having ice cream every night? Whatever it is. God will use those small acts of obedience to become large things for the kingdom. And then you're then a witness to someone else, right? Because it's going to permeate through your whole family in some way. So I think the first step is asking Him, getting on your face before Him and saying, okay, I'm surrendering this one body that you've given me. What do you want me to do to start to change it?
Well, actually, I'm open to it. I didn't even mean to be open to it, but I am open to it. So let me. You brought the verse, mine a verse here, Romans 12. We're familiar with it. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is reasonable service. It goes back to what we said earlier. We're not our own. If it means serving God better by giving up something that our flesh wants, then shouldn't we do that for the sake of God? And that's not being prescriptive. It's just what you said, seeking God and saying, what do you want me to give up? I personally think that in general, God doesn't say, give up this and this and this and this and this and this tomorrow.
That's right.
Right? It's like, okay, I want you to walk for 15 minutes tomorrow and the next day. Yeah. And then once you conquer that, I want you to, let's start leaving off all the sweet drinks that you drink. And I'm just making stuff up as I go. But generally, it's very incremental things, and God tends to deal with us in that way, right? He reveals things to us as we go along. That's what maturing in Christ is, and we conquer those things as we go. So that's definitely where it starts, right? Is asking God to reveal it, and then asking God for grace to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And discipline and strength and all the things that we need, and support. It's really hard. People who are in a family that don't eat well, don't have good habits. It's really hard to do those things without support. So.
Well, and that goes back to one other thing that I think Andrew and I had talked about is, if I'm going to try to do this and take care of myself better, it'd be a lot easier on me if Jonna is doing it, right? And so back to what Paul was saying, I don't want to do anything that makes my brother stumble. So if my wife says, hey, I really feel that I need to take better care of myself for spiritual reasons, then should I not join in with her to prevent her from stumbling in that way? Me sitting down and eating anything I want in front of her when she's trying to avoid that is just not very... it's just
poor leadership as a husband's wife.
It definitely is, and it's just inconsiderate, and it is putting a stumbling block in front of, in this case, my wife.
Yeah. Well, I would just echo the points that you have both made. Really, the beginning for me with all of this was just recognizing it as a spiritual issue. when I got to the point when I wanted to eat something, but I believed in my heart, if I eat this, I think that may be offensive to God. That was the motivation that I needed. It wasn't like, well, you know, I'll lose weight, I'll look good, you know, kind of thing. Like, it took something more dire. You know, I've always said that things that live by vanity die by vanity. You know, I think you need a deep reason to do these things. And the other thing is accountability, which is what we're talking about with the support. I mean, accountability has completely changed my life. A lot of people are critical of it, and they have their reasons, but when it's done right, it can produce things that people just can't produce on their own.
It changes people's lives. I mean, the whole career has been coaching and accountability, and it changes people's lives when they have to show up and they know that they have to answer for the choices they've made. They do a better job.
Yeah,
But
and this is what we've missed in the church.
I know.
This is it. You know, I mean,
We should be doing more. I don't love the words weight loss challenge, but we should be doing more health stuff at church instead of, like, we should replace every potluck with a 5K.
well, but it's
The only problem is nobody would show up.
Accountability, right? It's accountability.
Yeah.
We won't allow others to hold us accountable. We won't, you know, reciprocate that back to other people. I mean, what y'all have just said is that we need one another to be successful. We can't do this on our own. The church is the church for a reason, right? But we're not functioning in that way. So let's try to operate on a deeper, different level that supports one another in these things. It would be my message to the church.